Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unit 5, where we're going to talk about privacy and security. I don't know about you guys, but to me, the course is just really zipping along. It seems like we just started it last week, which, that's good because I know everybody wants to work toward finishing up their degree in their educational process, but for me, it's also somewhat bittersweet. I've really enjoyed this course. Hopefully, you have enjoyed this course, and soon the course evaluation process will be opening up. I would hope that you will take some time to provide feedback on this course. We just did a revision, so you are the first class that is working through the revision process. So your feedback can be very important on, are we hitting the target? Are we not? And next week, there's going to be one of the discussion questions. We're going to have to modify just a little bit. The original intent was that there would be multiple people or multiple teams, and you would share each other's presentation and get feedback and hopefully get some exposure to additional programs, platforms, whatever the case might be. Unfortunately, we're running a really small class this time. We only have the one team. Therefore, it's going to be very difficult to share. So I may have to do a little bit of modification on that one for next week, but that's next week. So this week, we're talking about privacy and security. And, you pick up any newspaper, which is kind of an outdated concept anymore sometimes, but watching the news, looking at your Facebook feed or whatever the case might be, you see something about privacy and security, typically as the result of a negative outcome. Either somebody was hacked, or there was data leaked, or something along those lines. And so it's pretty common, and I'm sure you're familiar with that. You can see the basically the learning objectives that are basing what we're going to do this week. We're going to talk about legal influences on data use and storage, and we're going to talk about programs to address privacy and security as part of that implementation and ongoing operations, because that's going to be key. We want a system that does what we need it to do, but we also need it to be secure. So we're going to talk about that. We can kind of see some of the assigned reading and preparation activities, and you can read those. I don't need to read that to you, but really the gist of it is kind of down here, the work part of it. So discussion question is, we talk about bringing your own device into the workplace, and I am at a level in my organization where I actually have two phones. One is the company phone and one is my own phone. They elect to do that because they can better control the data. I've worked at other organizations where they implement your ability to use your own device, and then they usually pay you a stipend. There's positives and negatives to both. I'll be honest with you, I don't particularly care to carry two phones, but it's part of what we do. So, excuse me. So we're going to talk about that as we look at different things. And then, of course, I scrolled down and missed the discussion. The Unit 5 individual is the data security policy. So you're going to draft a policy. Please use your own original work. I don't care if you find a source and use some of it or cite it appropriately, but really we're looking for your own original work here. We're not looking for you to go out and find ABC Company's data security policy and basically rewrite it as your own. And then lastly, for the group assignment this week is the narrated video presentation of your proposal. So I look forward to those. Do me a favor. Please do not just read your slide. I don't, if you're going to do that, just send me the presentation and go, we'll take the hit on the grade, and so really tell me why you're proposing it. Use the video or that information that you're presenting visually as an anchor point. So the slide comes up, it has 4 bullet points that says, here's what we're doing, and maybe you're going to talk about why you need it, what the cost is, what the timeline is. Use those as anchor points and then explain that to me. You can put that information in the speaker notes if you need a reference to kind of refer back to or whatever. But really, I want a presentation, not read me a PowerPoint. We are in the process of hiring a staff trainer at my own organization, and one of the things that the candidates have to do is a 10-minute presentation on adult learning. And we had a candidate come in, and she was extremely nervous, and I felt really bad for her, but the entire time she had her back to the audience as she read her PowerPoint word for word. It was 6 minutes of discomfort. And unfortunately, she had 10 minutes, but she was so nervous, she just basically read through the PowerPoint, and didn't go well for her, unfortunately. So, with you working on your presentation, some key points to consider. All right, that's all I've got. I look forward to seeing you in the classroom. Great work on the discussions. I know we've got a small class, so it's kind of hard to pump those discussions up sometimes, but you guys are doing great, and I appreciate your efforts on that. Also enjoyed seeing the written work you're doing. A lot of good information, good writing there as well. So if you have questions, holler. Otherwise, I'll see you in the classroom, and everybody have a great week. Thanks.